Bring in May Mailman, a former Trump White House attorney, and Beverly Hallberg, District Media Group president. Listen, this is a circumstance that I think is indefensible when you talk about students feeling unsafe, May. People have said throughout this week that this is not about making sure that there is this sort of debate on college campuses. This has been about, for many of them, the attacking of a culture and of a people. And that is never something that you would expect on a college campus. Or am I overreading that?
No, absolutely. The Jewish students on NYU's campus say they feel unsafe because they were barricaded in a library. The word Jewish for Jewish white supremacy was taken and stomped on and spit on in front of their faces. So when I was with the Trump White House, we drafted and signed an executive order about combating anti-Semitism. And we clarified that Title VI of the Civil Rights Act prohibits racial discrimination on college campuses. Racial discrimination, we said, includes anti-Semitism. And so here, especially where it's clearly targeted against race, where you have a sign that says Jewish white supremacy, that is illegal for NYU to allow. They should not have any federal funding, not a single dollar. And the Biden administration is violating the law by continuing to fund NYU.
Beverly, one of the things that I talked about earlier in the program with David Tafuri was this idea that there has to be a reason behind all the protesting. There must be something that appears to be driving this conversation on college campuses. And what I've heard in my conversations with others is many of the students feel like this is a bully. This is a nation that is segregated. This is a nation that refuses to enable the Palestinians to travel freely, have access to food, water, and sanitation without restriction. This is an unfair circumstance that we cannot continue to support. Where are they wrong?
Well, I think part of this is that there is a lack of information of the totality of what is taking place. I think you're correct that is the narrative, the pro-Palestinian narrative is what young people often hear. This is why there are even calls to maybe ban TikTok in this country, because when you look at the disparity of pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas videos that are out there, there are so many more than anything pro-Israel. So I think a lot of this is a lack of information, because you even saw some videos go viral where you would have somebody go up to those who are fighting in favor of a free Palestine from the river to the sea. And they asked them specific questions about, well, do you support the elimination of the Jewish nation? Do you support the genocide of the Jews? And these students didn't want to sign anything or agree with anything that said that. So I think that there's a lack of information. And I think a lot of that is our technology and social media that is driving one perspective over the other.
May, you want to get in on that?
Yeah, so I do agree. When you look at the TikTok hashtags, you see a proliferation of the pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas hashtags. But then you have to think, in NYU, the faculty are in on it. You have Faculty for Justice in Palestine. And that, to me, indicates a much larger problem than just social media. I think that there has been a slow seeping of the change of racism.
I apologize. So sorry, May. I'm going to have to wrap it up. Apparently, we're up against a hard break. Thank you both so much for your participation tonight. It's a great conversation. I want to have a lot more with you both. And thank you again, both of you, May and Beverly.